But so no, Firewatch Deeper is a direct corollary to this.
Okay.
Which I wrote way before Firewatch. Firewatch really pissed me off.
Yeah, I know, because we had done the whole review discussion about it, and it was great. Like a week later, I saw you start tweeting.
Did you like it? Did you guys like it?
We were in escalation of Colin hated it, Kevin loved it, and everybody else is somewhere in between of just like.
I liked it in spite of itself. I think
I found its ending so pretentious. I found it.
I think that's the number one problem everyone has with it.
Well, I thought it was fine. Like while I was playing the game, I didn't like it, and then it was afterwards. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I enjoyed it a lot. Like I thought it was cool, and I liked the story. What other ending would there be? Like he finds her, like she's there.
How about this? It's some weird shit in the woods.
I'm so happy it wasn't weird.
But I'm not, because you know what? There wasn't a story.
We're about to go balls deep into Firewatch.
This is not a book. In a
Review
story, the way narrative satisfaction works for me. And if it works differently for you, which it clearly does, then okay. But if I'm being told a story, there has to be something in the story. That story is not a story. The thematic pieces of it, though adult, grounded, mature, and well thought out, do not fucking connect to each other. Having a wife who is in dementia does not connect to this story with the woman on the other end of the thing. It ultimately does not connect. You can flirt with her or you can't. Guess what? It ends the same way. So nothing you do in the game matters. At least I know, and by the way, the guy's already gone. Nothing you did mattered. And not in a fun burn after reading way, which by the way is a lot of people's problems with that movie, is that nothing happens. Not even in that fun of a way. In a way that literally at the opening of Mario, if I don't go save the princess, she's not gonna fucking get saved. If it had been anyone but me in that Firewatch tower, the same shit would have happened, because you're not a participant in a story that has the emotional backbone of nothing. There's no, you don't go through an arc. You don't find anything new. Suspense slowly builds and then goes nowhere. And by the time you don't even get to share with her that you found that kid's fault. I'm sorry. That game really, and it was so sad. One of the devs tweeted at me. It was like, thanks for playing. And I was like,
they're good dudes.
They seem like good dudes, but what a passive aggressive, I was like, I'm not saying you suck. I'm saying I didn't have fun with your video game. If I took personally everyone who said my movies suck, I would fucking kill myself. But I don't know.
See, for me, it was less about the story. And I think a lot of people will agree. I think the devs would even agree that the sort of completion of the story, the third act of the story, is where it starts to fall apart a little bit. I mean, we had him on the show a few weeks back, and he says that's the number one criticism they've gotten, is that the resolution is not there, unfortunately. But for me, it was about the experience, the actual using the medium to give me a different experience.
Right.
And that's what I really liked about it, right? Coming off of every game, I can't stand playing 60-hour games. I can't do it. I played Metal Gear. I was like, I don't know if I'm done with this game or not. Can someone tell me if I'm done? Because I think I'm done.
But when I played Journey, that's a 2-hour-long game.
Right.
And I had a full emotional experience.
That I haven't played yet, but I just played Gone Home, and you were asking about that earlier. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it for you.
Yeah, how much do you know anything about it?
Nothing.
Oh, you're gonna be blown away.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll talk in
I'm in the middle of Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Yeah.
I'm not that far. I'm at the church, but I'm an hour, and that Spaceman. When I went with that Spaceman, oh boy, was Max happy playing that video game. I was like, this is the most fun thing anyone's ever done, and I'm doing it right now.
See, I think you'll like Gone Home because I think it is a different way of telling a story. And
I like that.
But for Firewatch, for me, it was less about the story and more about just
scenery.
Yeah, I mean, it was about the experience of being there and connecting with someone.
And why did they make us skip days? Why not
I'm not saying it's not without its flaws.
I liked it because you never knew what was going on, and you kept wondering what's happening. I know it's kind of a cop out that it's it's nothing, but I like that. I like that it's unlike other things like Until Dawn. Did you play Until Dawn?
Yeah.
Where I loved Until Dawn, except it's okay, there is some weird,
there's some monsters.
Thing. Yeah, I would have much rather not.
You
know, and I feel like this is it. A lot of horror games and horror movies, all horror movies have that issue where it's once you know what it is, it's not scary anymore. It's not no long. Then it's just that third act of
terrified of Until Dawn, though.
I guess I don't know.
It depends.
It becomes less scary because you know what's happening.
Yeah, true.
Not all horror movies have that problem. The Ring doesn't have that problem.
Okay.
The Shining doesn't have that problem, and it's because the narrative satisfaction isn't connected with the hidden monster. The narrative satisfaction is what's going to happen to this person. The more you know about the monster. And also the setup of you can't defeat what this is. Like the setup of that. But I see what you're saying about I understand why someone would love Firewatch.
Because I guess for me, the thing about Firewatch is the most resonant moment isn't supposed to be the end. It's supposed to be that moment where you realize it isn't a monster.
yeah.
It isn't this thing. And it's when it clicks, and I don't want to spoil, even though we're
cave.
entirely spoiling it.
The cave
it's
is
the cave.
when
When you're in the cave, to me, that is the end. Everything else might as well just be like a post-credit
Epilogue,
scene.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to me, I mean, that's where
I think you're right. For me, the cave was the end of the game.
The same for me as well, but I was assuming that there was going to be
something else,
some conflict, some confrontation.
The problem
which there was not,
the
and that
problem
was
me,
my problem.
With the cave being the end, which I agree with as well. It was the end of a story I didn't care about. That wasn't the threat I cared about.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there. I didn't care about this kid. I didn't care about the
cared
dad.
about the kid.
I didn't want to talk to Delilah about it. Right?
And
I
I
was
fully,
more hung up on
I
what the
fully,
fuck's
I
happening.
knew that kid was fucking dead.
Oh sure.
I was like, those guys, they're both dead because the Sasquatch got them. They're going to be a Sasquatch in this. No, there isn't. Game's over.
Right. I mean, that's my thing. Is when
Still, the way the game was built. Think about this. The way that game was built. Imagine if you'd been in the cave, and then you had heard in the sound design, and you realized, I should probably get out of this cave. That to me is finishing, is going for something. Like just something weird, something scary.
Yeah.
Well, see, to me, it was the moment when you walk and then you see that the jet skis and whatever were all fucked up and broken. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Because until then,
tent.
There wasn't that. Like all the messed up tent, all of a sudden there's these girls and then they're gone. And then you hear reports that girls are missing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then I don't know, they're just drunk and they're doing stuff. I'm like, I liked that. I liked that there were so many plot points that could have been explained by Sasquatch. But they weren't. They were all explained in ways that I'm like, that is entirely believable. The whole kid story, I didn't give a fuck about it, but it's like, how did he die? Is he alive? Whatever. The explanation, it all makes sense. That figure you saw, the shadowy figure, it's like, oh, that's why he's here. That actually checks out.
Can I tell you my thing? As a storyteller, my favorite type of story is the girls were just drunk. That guy just lives here. This, just that, and then Sasquatch anyway.
Yeah, okay. Well,
that's my favorite type of story.
Yes, I mean, my brain wanted that too. My brain wanted there to be a government conspiracy where they were trying to track down something and you just happened to be in the middle of it, right? I wanted Lost when Lost was in season 2.
I thought we were having an experiment done on us.
That's what I thought too.
And
Something to that degree.
And
of
the
like,
experiment was the same experiment that killed that kid. I knew that kid.
But
was
I think
dead.
they wanted you to think that, and then it wasn't that.
Yeah, but how
And it
fucking
made
trippy would it have been if you went to the firehouse where Delilah was staying and she was like a robot or a recording
wouldn't
or
be
something
trippy.
that you're
That would
like,
be predictable.
what the fuck is going on here? I don't know.
You know what? It wouldn't have been predictable because you want to know. That's what it is. Is you nailed it. It wouldn't have been predictable because they spent so much time telling you that everything was normal. If they had like pulled the rug out from you at the last second,
Yeah.
I mean, like people would have still hated the ending, but it would have been less people probably if it had just been some kind of left hook. So that's my right arm. But
They won't see
The
that
camera.
coming.
I definitely wouldn't see a left hook coming from your right hand.
but I'm glad you like Firewatch. I'm sorry I hate it so much. I feel bad when I hate things, but